9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another edition of WWT. If you were reading the name of this live, it is called Wrestling Hangover for a reason. Everybody out. Everybody is out. Everybody is burnt out. They drunk from Memorial Weekend. They done had some juice with some happy juice added to it. Whatever they are. Everybody was pounding the streets this Memorial Day weekend. And nobody showed up except for me, because have no fear. Because your councilman is here. Okay? Shades on, red eyes, everything. But I am here to talk wrestling to y'all. I'm going to take my hangover shades and my shades off. We're gonna go to the glasses because we got a lot to talk about. It was a lot of wrestling that has happened from Friday all the way to Wednesday today. But shout out to all of y'all that are joining me. Cindy, hi Will. I must ask what's with the Bud shades. It's hangover. We are hung over out here. Yes. I don't know if you're talking about what happened with Indiana yesterday, but they made the Knicks look like light work. That's all I'm saying. If you're a Knicks fan, I guess enjoy this last game that's coming up. That's all I'm going to say. But we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about today. Thank you for everybody that's jumping in. Like I said, this may be the solo dolo episode, but it is Wednesday. We were off Memorial Day, and we will not fail you and miss 2 episodes. No, sirree, Bob. So let's go ahead and get it kicked off with the AEW Dynamite preview tonight. And just because I'm solo on WWT Live does not mean you will not get your Wednesday dose of Courtney Knight Rice and the timeless AEW Dynamite watch along. And of course, on tonight's card, we have the tits, we have the ass. That is their words, not mine. So don't be coming for me in the comments. That is Anna Jay and Harley Quinn taking on Bane's sister, and then Penelope Ford Focus. They will all be in a no DQ tag match tonight. No disqualifications. Will Anna Jay try to eat ass again tonight? Or Harley Cameron, will she try to eat Anna Jay's ass again tonight? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? You never know what's going to happen on AEW Dynamite. But we also have the first of the AEW International Championship 4-way qualifiers sponsored by Fighter Fest. I don't know who Fighter Fest is. I don't know if that's a thing that got Ja Rule in trouble, but if whatever, it's Josh Alexander taking on Brody King tonight on AEW's Dynamite. Again, one of the first matches in the AEW International Championship qualifier match. What's gonna happen? Will old boy finally take that stupid ass headgear off? Will Brody King get another tattoo after he wins this? Who knows? You're just gonna have to find out tonight. Then also, we got this very racist ass name in Hangman Page. Not sure if he's still doing that. Definitely think he says the N-word when no one's listening. But we're gonna hear from him tonight. As he is the winner of the Owen Hart Cup tournament, and he will now get a title shot against Jon Moxley. And I believe all in or out, no burgers, but I don't know what their next PLE is. Obviously, I don't watch this, but he gets a title shot. Not sure when and where, which is why we go hear from him tonight. So tune in for that. But the thing I'm looking forward to, we getting the face-to-face tonight on Dynamite. 3 belts. Well, it might be 4 belts now because she also is the winner of the Owen Hart's tournament on the women's division side. So I guess technically she's 4 belts Monae again, but she will be in the ring with the timeless Toni Storm, the AEW World Champion. I'm not even looking forward to this as much as I'm looking forward to watching our WWT panelist Courtney respond to all of this, how she is going to react. You definitely don't want to miss her reactions, nor this episode of Dynamite, which is coming off of an incredible PLE of Double or Nothing, which we will get into, because I said we got a lot to cover thanks to us having a break and everybody pounding the streets yesterday. So yes, and you're going to get Courtney to react to this. Yes, we are. So make sure that you check that out. If you can, in the comments, let me know, what are you looking forward to seeing the most? Cousin Ron saying, I want to see Tony put Mercedes in her on her keister. We might get that. I particularly would like to see the banter between these two. I already know Tony can deliver. I know Mercedes can deliver. I think Tony is a little bit stronger on the mic. So I'm just very curious to see what their interaction is going to be. How are they going to approach one another when it comes to this? I think this can set up to be something incredible for them moving into All In Dallas. Courtney extended the invite on Sunday to the mayor so he could get his gloat on to this. You might see the mayor. You know what I'm saying? The mayor is used to being out here with the constituents, but of course, you know, the mayor always has to be doing work, so he has to come in just a little bit later, but he still graces us with his presence when he can. What's going on, Maria? Glad that you're jumping here in the comments with us, as well as Jeffrey over there in them islands, joining us today. It is a solo WWT live as of right now. But hey, I'm not solo because I got the comments. I got the family here right now. We just panelists right now. Tony is gonna cook her on the mic. You know, I wonder this. I wonder if this is how if people are going to feel. What's going up, Eric Eisman? Our historian Boza is here too. Tony gonna bring it. Tony is gonna bring it with the promos and the run. But yo, the thing is that people kind of forget about Mercedes is when Mercedes got a good opponent and she challenged, yo, she like a whole different side of Mercedes come out. Like, I think this is probably one of her biggest challenges that she has faced in AEW so far. And I really think like this, like tangling with Toni Storm is going to show another side of Mercedes that if you are a fan, most of you know, and you know she has that in her. And if you are still on the fence about her, this may be one of those points that starts to bring you over. But we're going to learn a lot about what's happening when it comes to Dynamite. Yes, exactly. She is under the mic. That's why I say, like, but when it's her time to shine, though, she normally rises to the occasion. So that's why this is going to get interesting. In the words of Jeffrey, this match is going to be good nonetheless. Yes, I will definitely be checking out All In, especially since I don't think All In is competing with anybody that same weekend. I could be wrong, though, because, you know, I get my dates mixed up sometimes. Everybody keeps seeming to want to do 18 shows in one weekend, like I can take in that much wrestling. But again, we're going to find out exactly what's going to happen tonight. Go along with the watch along as well with Courtney. So then that way y'all can have an even bigger time being able to talk, being able to chat, and doing y'all thing when it comes to AEW's Dynamite tonight. So let's get into it. We are now going to be, most of this is going to be recapping all the events that have happened since Saturday to now. And it is filled with drama. It is filled with 5-star matches. It is filled with shock value. It is filled with WTF vibes. It is filled with endings, beginnings, resurgence. Like, we got almost, it was like watching a 96-hour Avengers movie. That's what this weekend felt like, from AEW Double or Nothing to Saturday Night Main Event to NXT Battlegrounds. Then we got Monday Night Raw that decided it wanted to cook like crazy. Then NXT that just wanted to go drop bombshells on us on a Tuesday night. Okay. Couldn't even finish my Popeye special, man. 2 pieces for 99 cents, man. Couldn't even finish it because of all the shenanigans going on. But we're gonna talk about them. We got a lot to cover in a very, very short time span. So keep up. Throw your questions in the comments and let's get this thing popping, man. We're going to first start off with Saturday Night Main Event. If you watch the Kayfabe podcast, we did a post show about this. So go check that out here on WWT and as well as my YouTube page, where we did break down a majority of Saturday night's main event. Yes, this weekend had shock and awe. We'll having flashbacks of the cardiac. Yo, I've managed to process it, but we're gonna talk about that when we get to it. Saturday night main event. Just want to give you a quick little breakdown. Not too much detail, nothing too fancy. Because again, we discussed a lot of this with Honey as well as the mayor. The mayor got a chance to come on. We will have him on the Kayfabe podcast a little bit more. But Saturday night main event, solid. I give it a 6 out of 10. Okay, we opened Saturday night main event with a tag team match: CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins. Performed like they needed to, but the big overall shock was the return of Bronson Reed and Bronson Reed joining this group of Seth Rollins, the Wise Man, and Braun Breaker, tsunamiing CM Punk, poetic justice after the Survivor Series War Games match. Again, a great surprise and a great way to kick off the show. I will say all of the PLEs this weekend did a great job picking their first match to open the show. Did very well for one another. Yep, shout out to CM Punk and Sami Zayn coordinating with the Palestine colors. The solid match, butt rush. Yes, I think that was the feel Maria for the entire show, if I'm being honest. I feel like the entire show was a little bit rushed just because it's a Saturday night's main event. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Where'd you go? Ooh, I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. There we go. Or can I? Hey, I like it. There we go. In the words of Booker T, oh yeah, man. Now we're getting into the match that I still think was the shortest match. Zelina put her U.S. title on the line against Chelsea Green and came out victorious. I do feel that the match was a little bit shorter than it needed to be, but it was still a good one nonetheless. A lot of people want to call it a botch job. I necessarily disagree. I went back looking at this, kind of saw the camera angles, but hey, shout out to Chelsea Green, man. When I tell you, Chelsea Green, no matter what, stays in character, sells the show. Like, she shows you why she is continuing to rise and why she is making sure that she holds her place in WWE, because she sold it so well. Honey's friend look fabulous taking out that trash. You got it, man. That kid in the front looked thrilled. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's like, come on, bro. Put your camera down and enjoy the show. Look at you. Look how they caught you. Look how they caught you, my boy. Look how they caught you right here in the face, looking like you don't want to be here. That's what you get. I hope somebody blows this picture up and then they have it at your school, because that's what you get for looking sad during a dope-ass event like this. Yes, poor Chelsea Green. But again, Chelsea Green took it to the chin or the nose very well. And according to Wiki, they got 5 to 10 minutes. That wasn't the shortest, believe it or not. That's insane, Boza, that wasn't the shortest match. Please let me know which one was the shortest when you get a chance to. When we get to the match, though. He looked bored. Yeah. You know what the thing is, though? It's like, it's the same issue that happened when we were talking about WrestleMania. And when you got these people who ain't really fans like that, they just kind of casual fans that then came in here to come watch this. Because first off, he don't have no WWE merch on. He ain't make no sign. He looked like these tickets may not have been as expensive, and his family was like, yo, you want to bring your friend Ron, who don't really watch it? And then he came here because he just don't look excited. He just don't look like he here. He just don't look like he really wanted to be there. That guy looked like he was only there because of a combo package. Exactly, Boza. It just looked like, hey, man, the ticket already paid for. So you can either come or you can stay at the house, but I want you to get out the house. Like his daddy made him get out the house to come watch the stuff his little brother or his older brother or him watch. But I think the match could have went a little bit longer. I hope that this doesn't affect Zelina's title reign as U.S. champion. I'm very curious to see like how they start to push and promote her moving forward, especially with us having this week's Friday Night SmackDown. So I'm very curious to see the aftermath of what happened between these two. And then, of course, what I thought was going to be like somewhere near the main event, but I understand. John Cena versus RTruth. Again, pretty straightforward match. This was probably the shortest match out of all of them. Yeah. Yo, Sandil. If Becky was on SmackDown and she was beefing with Chelsea, all that would, the amount of trolling that would do and put Chelsea Green over right now. Oh, that's what, real shit. That's what Chelsea Green missing. Chelsea Green missing a good person to go on the mic with. Her and Becky Lynch in a rivalry would be fire. It shouldn't. This was the example of shit we needed a women's match on SmackDown. Yeah, because it looked like it was put together. This was the shortest match according to Wiki, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Basically, it was a squash. But we already knew this was going to be a squash. We already knew this was happening, how they set it up. And we knew this was kind of, we're just feeling this because John Cena was scheduled to be here. Not really a fan of this just because of the long-term storytelling. Hopefully we make it come back. It was a fun match, but I just feel like I could have waited on an RTruth versus John Cena, but I understand why they pulled the trigger now on it to happen, so it protects them. And of course our mayor, hop on, sir, hop on. I know all of y'all were pounding the streets this weekend, but you're used to being able to do this. You know how to dip in the night and come back. Okay. The highlight of the match was Ron. First of all, Ron, if the Ron Cena shirts don't sell out, I'm gonna be tight. Yeah, it was an extended squash, and then also an extended squash leading into something else that we'll talk about when we get to it, but it was like kind of for what? Like why was that needed? Mystery Machine Edition. That man said he has a lot to say about the Double or Nothing that we'll talk about. So I'm gonna extend this a little bit, so hopefully he gets here at least in about the next 10 minutes. So he can join the majority of the chat, because I got to get out of here by 4:30. But we wanted to make sure we delivered to y'all. And it was like they were scrambling to fill one of John Cena's dates, and they had 0 for him to do. But again, I kind of agree with Dion when we talked about John Cena's timeline and we predicted it. I kind of agreed that he didn't need to show up here or just talk. He could have just talked, and that set up the next set of matches that he was gonna get. But I just didn't get it. Why that this was needed so fast. We're gonna be talking about Jasper Troy. We're gonna be talking about Jasper Troy. We getting there, especially nobody's. This is your entree that we delivering to you right now. Good shit, Cindy. I tried to order one. They didn't have my size. It's okay. They big boy shaming, but that's all right. I ain't finna trip. Clay Lewis, glad to have you in here. What up, bro? How are you? Happy Wednesday. I want to meet Roxanne Perez. Listen. A lot of people want to meet Roxanne Perez, and if things align correctly and I'm able to get you in front of my client, then we will do our best to make that happen. But I cannot give no guarantees because, my client is a very busy woman. But I will do my best as your councilman, Clay Lewis, to see that can be fulfilled. Boza, thank you for still giving us WWT Live today, Council. Oh, I appreciate that, Boza. Yeah, man, we got to still keep the bills paid and the funds circulating. Remember, y'all predicted his timeline. They had basically visiting us and doing nothing. Yeah, that's what Dion had. So I was like, but that could have been necessary for this one. But I understand. This one also too, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Watching this was good, but what it also kind of led me to believe was this should have ended at WrestleMania. Like this match right here either should have happened at Money in the Bank, or their rivalry should have ended at WrestleMania, because this one felt very lackluster, and which sucks because they did a lot of dope spots in here, but because it was so rushed, it felt like it was just like, it kind of felt like the Cena thing, like y'all just trying to fill up space for NBC and didn't really do what needed to be done, because this should have got bloody. This should have got real messy. Like really, they should have broke the steel cage and then had a double count out or something like that. Like it should have been one of those, but it just kind of felt like, all right, I guess this felt very much like a SmackDown match. This didn't even feel like a PLE. It felt like a match you would see on SmackDown. And yes, Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura is hilarious, because I was really just kind of sitting there like, he was like, how you just gonna walk out the ring? How you just gonna do what the rules say and then just leave him? You didn't even climb out or pin him. It's like, who gets mad because you took one of the options? Like, what kind of shit is that? What the fuck are we doing? Like, how you? It's one of the rules. Like, you can do that. And I thought it was even more of a slap to the face to Drew that he just walked out. He was like, yo, pieces, deuces, I'm out. You can't see me, motherfucker. Like, I thought that was way better than climbing out or pinning him, because that was so disrespectful. Like, that Drew couldn't get up to capitalize. I thought that was dope. But of course, like they said, classic Jesse heels. I was like, all right. But at first I was scratching my head. I was like, sir, you serious, or you just playing the part? But obviously he was just playing the part. Them Nuggies Roxanne had a little crispy and probably. Hey, listen, we gonna talk about that too, because I'm not sure how I feel about that whole setup. I don't know. We're gonna talk about it though when we cover Raw. But I got my opinions about that. Excellent cage match, but Priest should have took the pin. You know what? And maybe that's why I feel like maybe this shouldn't have happened, or maybe this shouldn't have waited, or should have waited. It's just the way that they've been building these two, the way that they had them on SmackDown, fighting with one another all over SmackDown, and it was just this. I was like, okay, I guess. Now they need to have a last man standing match at Money in the Bank. That's the only way to like make this be a chapter that's gonna close. Because now I would take it as kind of what best 2 out of 3. He won at WrestleMania. He just won a Saturday Night Main Event. Maybe Money in the Bank. They can shut down the rivalry finally, do a last man standing match. Maybe he should have called his limo driver to open the door for him. Oh, Jeffrey. Then we had this basic ass match. Basic as in it did what it was supposed to do. Basic as in it did what it's supposed to do. It wasn't bad. It was just, you only had 10 minutes. You only had 10 minutes. And if I've learned anything, Jey Uso needs to stop wearing Air Force Ones. Okay, as the world champion, I need you to get some real boots. Because if your shoe fall off one more time, if your shoe comes off one more time, sir, you and I are going to have a problem. Is it true that Drew is taking time off, or that was a write-off? No, he really was. I think he has like an injury, not a bad one, but something where he just needs to take a little time off for it to recover. And so they wrote him out so he could be able to recover. It wasn't from the steel cage match. He had already had it. I think he had maybe had it since WrestleMania. So they wanted to make sure that they give him enough time so that he could get a little bit better. But we are hoping for a speedy recovery from Drew. I don't think it's anything too bad, nothing that requires surgery. I just think he has to take some time off as well. I thought Cena was actually going to give Paul the belt. The only reason I didn't believe that Sin deal is because it just happened tonight. Like, that should have been built up. That's why I was like, what you're telling me would have been dope had you been setting this up for me, Cena. Now it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess. This was a satisfactory match. Yeah, it did. It did what it was supposed to do for Saturday night main event, for the title on the line, with him defending it for the first time outside of, well, not for the first time, but the second time on a PLE. Well, first time on a PLE, second time defending it. But it was like, yeah, that spot from Backlash. Yeah, exactly. Drew got the Project Rock check. Yes, he did. And then, of course, John Cena interferes. And then, of course, the returning Cody Rhodes. Yay. Cody Rhodes is back. He will be on Friday Night SmackDown this upcoming Friday. Hopefully we will have a watch along. Can't confirm that yet, so that's why I'm saying hopefully. Don't want to just be throwing that in the air and, Honey's not able to do it. So, but just, there will be a returning Cody Rhodes. And it is all leading up to this match. Money in the Bank tag team action. Logan Paul and John Cena versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I be trying to listen to Hunter when he says, "Hey, stop tripping and just enjoy the ride." I try to listen when Taker says, "Hey, sit back and enjoy the ride." Anybody want to tell me if they enjoying this ride right here? Is anybody excited about this? Anybody excited about this match? Please let me know. I thought, what a way better way to get Cena nuclear heat, but give Logan Paul the title. I'm telling you, I'd have took that before this match. I like how Logan performs to the level of the of the haters. Y'all hate on what he brings in the ring. That boy good. He got talent. Old man coming to America voice. Nah, he do. That's the one thing I say. You can consider Logan Paul an a-hole, and that's why you don't like him. But you gotta respect what he do in that ring, and you gotta respect that he take it seriously. You gotta respect that dude trains, practices. This dude learned this business. Like, people can say what they want. We've seen celebrities, YouTube streamers that come in here don't really get acclimated. It's like, bro, man, Logan Paul, whatever you want to think about his personality, that's fine. But his work ethic is undeniable. And if you don't respect that, then yeah, you just being a hater. You just being a hater, because this man has showed you several times why he should be in that ring. He showed you several times why he can be a champion. So I respect him as a wrestler. I don't necessarily know him as a human being, so I can't say I don't respect him as that. But is he an a-hole? That's the vibes I get, but that could also be the character. Yes, neither world title is defended. Maybe men's Money in the Bank cashes in. Depending on, and the thing is, that's depending on how these matches are set. Because we know one of them is going to open the show, and depending on how they book this stuff, which one is, they're going to let a ladder match close the show. But look, nope. This better not be the main event. I'm going to take that as a nope. This is a waste of Cena's last year. Maria, you said it. They have botched John's last year. I do. Because why didn't we get Cena versus Punk? Why did we not get Cena versus Punk in Los Angeles? Like, unless CM Punk is about to be in Money in the Bank, why did we not get John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank? I can see a cash-in attempt too, but again, said you know how it goes with these. Normally, they have the ladder matches open and close the show. So unless the men going first, that's the way I see it. Unless they let and then the women got the main event. Because like, okay, hold on. You know what? I can definitely maybe give a glimpse to figuring this out. Wait a minute. Let me see if they'll let me see it. Let me see how this ends. Okay, so last year, the men opened with Money in the Bank. Okay, and the women were in the middle. Ooh, you know what? I think this is going to be the main event. Unless saving Punk versus Cena at SummerSlam. Probably so. Both champs vulnerable too. Yep, the women needs to main event to kick off the road to Evolution too. They not. This is most likely going to be the main event because last year's main event was the Bloodline defeating Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. And the champ was out there. So there you are. There we are. There we are with that. So I guess. Where the hell is Kevin anyway? I think Kevin's injured. Because I remember he said he wasn't able to perform at WrestleMania. I think he got seriously injured after that ladder match at the Royal Rumble. I think like something really happened there that kind of led a little bit further to where he got to take a break. We waiting on you, Mayor. I'm stalling as best as I can. I'm out here stalling because we got to get to Double or Nothing. Man. This kicked off Sunday. I'm gonna bypass this first, and we'll talk about the other matches. So Ricochet took on Brisco in a bloody ambulance match. Not even sure how they got to this. I'm sure there's a valuable reason why this match happened with Ricochet and #them boys. But Ricochet was the winner. I gotta ask, with this going on, because again, I don't check out AEW like that though. But I've been seeing a lot more Ricochet in social media. So can y'all let me know if you watch this match between him and Brisco? Do you feel like has this gotten you on the Ricochet train? Has this got you on the train of Ricochet? Or does Ricochet, or are we still kind of just like, when it comes to Ricochet? Because it seems like things have stepped up. But maybe I'm wrong. Not feeling him in AEW. Not feeling him in AEW. What's up, Aaron Teagle? I don't think that's the fantasy. Shit, sorry. Forgot to change something. Forgot to change this thing. Sorry about that. I just realized on the social, I was like, oh, I was supposed to change that. I'll never be on the Ricochet train after his EO rant. Well, there you have it. We just go push forward. We also had Sammy Navarro and Dustin Rhodes taking on the Hurt Business, along with Owen Hart Jr., along with the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. Of course, you already know what it is. The Hurt People. What can I say? That's what we own. The hurt people hurt people. Then we had Mina Shirakawa taking on Toni Storm for the title. Excellent match. Phenomenal match between these two. This is one of those. These are two wrestlers that never disappoint. They never disappoint in the match. Mina Shirakawa coming out looking one fabulous, as well as Toni Storm. Both of them putting on a wrestling clinic. And then two got enough time to do it. But of course, the timeless one still taking the win against Mina Shirakawa, and like we said, will now be looking forward to her next opponent at All In, which will be 4 belts Monae. Then we also had this wild ass what is it? Anarchy and Mayhem. That's what they call it, right? It was a whole bunch of stuff going on. Just the Ops, Swerve, Willow, Kenny versus dudes dressed in like. This is what this match says. This is everything. If you need to know anything about this Anarchy match, if you need to know anything about it, this is the perfect picture to symbolize all of what went down from this match. I will say it was thank you. Anarchy in the arena. Thank you. But it was definitely that. You know what it is? I'm not gonna shit on it or anything like that because it's new. Because it is something I don't think I've seen before. And I'm gonna say it like that because I don't want to say never seen before. But from what I've seen, I've never seen like the whole 6-screen view being shown of like everything going on and revolving around everyone, which I do not mind because again, it's new. It's very new, and and then they allow you to see everything that's happening. Unlike, when we watch WWE, they do their best to track everyone. As best as they can. And then sometimes you miss some dope stuff unless you know the spots that's coming up. But this one, I guess it's one of those things that gotta grow on me a little bit. Bodies definitely hit the floor. Yes, they did. It's just something I gotta wrap my head around a little bit more. But from the two that I've seen, they have not disappointed. And from the looks of it too, they did not disappoint as well either. Is this the same image? That is the same image. My apologies. They didn't disappoint in this one as well. So I gotta say, if that is the case, congratulations to Anarchy in the arena, and a shout out to the Ops, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, and Willow Nightingale for picking up the victory. I did see that clip where Willow got her earlobe locked by a chain and a lock. I was like, okay. I see you took a page straight out of Swerve's book. I was like, whoa. I was like, y'all are not playing. I will say Double or Nothing definitely brought the heat Sunday night. They were not playing. And then this match, which I already know. I already know from what I heard, it was a 5-star match. It was a lot that went on. It was a banger. It was incredible to see. They were going against Battleground and Fake TK Wine. I mean, you whining, but one could say Double or Nothing was better than Battleground. One could say it delivered a little bit harder than Battleground did, although you had more matches than Battleground. So, you were at a slight disadvantage. But we came out with this Hangman Adam Page winning the men's division of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. He will now get a shot at the Moxley at All In Dallas. Why should you just win this? I ain't watched none of this. I'm trying my best because I didn't watch a single thing of this. I'm letting y'all know that now. I definitely was biased. I chose to stick to what I know. But from what I've heard and what I've seen in the socials, it probably was the best show of the weekend. Because again, like they had way more matches than both Saturday Night Main Event and NXT Battlegrounds. But from the looks of it, though, none of them were misses. From what I heard, like no match missed. Like all the matches delivered. Like it wasn't no like, oh, here go with this. Like each one of them brought it. So from what I was told. But you know something? What I find funny about this? Now he talked all that shit about how he better and would smoke everybody in WWE. Will, why didn't you win? I didn't watch this, but I can definitely bring that up. Why didn't you win? That's $1 million question now I got for Mr. Ospreay. If you so big and bad, if all of your people over there can smoke you, why didn't you win? Why do they not want to put the belt on you? You ever think like how interesting that is for someone to claim they the best, yet your company doesn't want to put the belt on you, yet your company doesn't keep the belt on you? Because at the end of the day, like, what are we doing? Like, do you want to be known as the Charles Barkley of AEW? Like, is that what you want? That's what I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, you claim you the best. Here we go. Ospreay doesn't want to move to the US, so I guess it makes sense he doesn't want the title. That just makes it even worse. Because if you watch all these other wrestlers who got it, then why are you not going to do that? Like, yo, like it's like your words and your actions don't match. If you just want to claim that you're the best in the world, say that. But to say that you a better product and that other people, you'll smoke other people, you not. In a wrestling ring, sure. But it's not just about wrestling. It's about being a superstar. And I feel like Will Ospreay is doing a disservice not being able to solidify championships. Like, don't get me wrong. The dude is dope. He is dope. And I feel like you need this belt to carry a company. So somebody to put the face to, for somebody to put the shine to. But when it comes to that stuff, you ain't it. And you not there. So how you say you can smoke everybody else, AEW can smoke everyone else, when your own company deciding we not going to make you champion? You've lost several times for it to be a he doesn't want to win or it's not his time. Bullshit. I got to call bullshit on that. That's bullshit. Because when you hot, you hot. When it's time to strap the rocket on you, you strap the rocket. Not walk in here and be like, hey, man, I'm cool. Like, you're acting like CM Punk. Like, you did this 10 years ago, and you coming back after another 9, and it's like, nah, I'm just here to help everybody else. Help yourself and win a belt. Get on television, market AEW, and make it the place where when you say you can smoke everybody, it's like, yeah, you're right. Because this dude pulling money, this dude pulling people, this dude pulls in championships. Until you do that, you just bumping your fucking gums. I didn't have a segue in a bumping gums, but we are joined by another politician. I'm waiting for him to get himself situated as well because like I said, everyone else didn't show up because they drunk and hungover. I could be lying about all of that, but the story today is that they drunk and they couldn't show up. But you know who showed up? The two people that can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mayor and your councilman is here.
Yeah, apparently TK doing something in the Caribbean with the girls, them sugar and all that. I don't know.
I don't know. We don't
know.
She ain't here. We know that much. She ain't in the States.
And apparently they're supposed to be a guest. I don't know what happened to the guest.
Might be out of state with her.
But I know we talking AEW. I know we talk main event. I didn't really watch all of main event. I just know the highlights of what happened. But if I can be frank, since we're talking about Double or Nothing, that is the best show I have been to this year. And maybe
I heard
year.
I heard it cooked. I heard. I was like, every match delivered.
I think the format of everything, because you know how we talk about with wrestling all the time, like, oh, if this match was here, if this match was there, it would have been better. The format of how they structured the matches, because they came out hot with Mercedes and Jamie. And then they had the Ricochet, Mark Brisco match next. And I was like, but they gave you moments in that damn match where I was like, yo, these men are cooking. They cooking with this structure match. It was a great match. And then like everything after that was structured so well that the only thing that felt out of place was what was in the co-main spot, which legit the Paragon match, which that wasn't a bad match either.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Hiroshi, I was in the media scrum. I called you out. You didn't show up. We was in the same spot, bro. I just wanted to meet man to man to ask you about what you did to my client. Don't be leaving the States and going back to Japan and all that. No, you got to meet me when you on this soil, sir. We got to discuss some shit.
You announce yourself next time.
Yeah. No surprises. You announce when you in the desert. One of my homes, by the way. You announce when you out there. But to be frank, but to get back to my point, Anarchy in the Arena, I told somebody this yesterday. There's no more exhilarating feeling other than the Royal Rumble. This match live is that dope. And I don't know if it was just the competitors this time or how everybody was everywhere. It's just like it's orchestrated chaos. And maybe it's not good for the viewer at home, but when you were in the building, this match is amazing.
It's different.
If you go back and watch the playback, the reason the Bucks were dressed like in the 1900s gear is because it's the 6-year anniversary of the first Double or Nothing. So they had this whole thing where they're the founding fathers of AEW. They came back, did the whole spiel saying you should thank the Young Bucks and all this. Then the match begins. I think the coolest thing on TV is like when the Ops came out and it was just Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, where's Joe? Where's Joe at? They didn't know. And then if you want to call them the heels, the Bucks came out, everybody else. And it's funny because you got the spotlight on Mox, Yuta, Marina, Claudio up top. And Claudio was just standing there for a minute. I'm like, why the hell Claudio not moving? And then Joe just comes out the back and snuffs him. Then the match starts. They still playing. They still playing the music that the Bucks came out to. Then in the middle of the match, they're like, hey, or later on, Kenny's like, hey, can we switch the music? Then I'm so excited it starts playing. And they still fight. And they're like, okay, I don't know why this is playing. So Kenny's like, give me something else. Then let the bodies hit the floor drop. And I'm telling you, the energy rose.
Okay.
The energy immediately picked up.
They got something with this. Well, Sindel, he was in the middle.
I was going to get there. I appreciate you, Sindel.
Yeah, he was there.
We can have a truce. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. But no, when let the bodies hit the floor drop, like the energy change and like everywhere in the arena where you saw the action, even when they had it on the screen when Marina and Willow were fighting outside, I think Yuta and Shibata were fighting outside, you had views everywhere. But it was just like, it was so much chaos. If you saw my stories, like Swerve was fighting Matt Jackson up the stairs and came up and dapped somebody right next to me. Like, that's how close they get to everybody while they're in action. Like, there's literally only thing that's more exhilarating is the Royal Rumble. It's dope. You have to experience in person.
Okay. So now I know. Because when I heard about it, and the last one I saw was like, okay, I get where it's coming from. It just I haven't wrapped my head around it. But now I get it. This is one of those, you got to be in the arena, which is smart. for fake TK to be doing. Like, I think that's a smart move for him to create something that's different from everybody's, that make you want to go. Like, I have to show up. I have to show up there. And that even makes that stint that they're doing, I believe, in Philly, that makes it even a little bit more exciting too, because like, okay, now I believe y'all stuff won't get stale, because now I know that y'all can make a whole bunch of different stuff happen that will make it enjoyable for people in the ring. I mean, for people in the arena. But of course I saved this, did not discuss it. As you said, you're on the Jamie Hader pack and smoking it loud. So first thing I gotta know, does this technically make her 4 belts Monae again?
I believe it does, and she referenced that on socials after the fact. It's like a king or queen of the ring tournament. Who knows how long they carry the crown or the trinket that goes along with the tournament, but for now it does. So we back to 4 belts Monae. All in Texas is set. I am hopeful that it's a main event match, because this might be one of, if not the only time these women have ever touched. And they've always had high praise of each other in interviews. So it's long overdue that we have a women's main event. And if you want to counter the counter booking that Tony talked about in the scrum, then have your first women's main event and have the 2 biggest stars in your company go at it. Because it's storybook written. Now, I could go on and on about how my clients are better than Courtney's clients, but I would want her present for that.
Friday, hopefully.
Yeah, I'd want her present for that. But I thought it was a great match. I was a little hesitant that they made the women first, but my God, what an act to follow.
Yeah.
What an act to follow. Like
this weekend, all the PLEs, they made the right choice for their openers. All of them came out with banger openers.
Yeah. And Jamie didn't look weak in the loss. It was like Mercedes escaped. We on to the next. Jamie still looks strong in the process, but Mercedes getting that win just further solidifies this run she's on. If you look at all the competitors she's faced in the past year, it's like a murderer's row of talent. And they've all benefited from being in her orbit. She's put on great matches with them all. And it's like, this is the Mercedes trade. And now you have your record-breaking 4-time women's AEW champion facing arguably the biggest star in the sport, who is also undefeated. Tony, I asked him about this at the media scrum. He seemed like he didn't really want to answer it, if I'm being honest. And maybe there's a plan, maybe there's not. But I hope there's enough support of women's wrestling over the next couple of months. And I hope there's enough, I don't want to call it pressure, but like people backstage, like, nah, this is the time to pull the trigger. You need to do this now. Yeah. It makes the most sense. We've seen Hangman and Mox as a tag team. We've seen them against each other. We ain't seen this.
Nah.
You want to counter evolution and whatever that's going to be, boom. 2 biggest women in the sport right now. Like, main event. History. Texas. First time in a baseball arena. It just writes itself.
Yep. And speaking of writes itself, that's also not a great segue. I got the TK shakes right now. I don't know how to segue nothing today. But we having a great discussion, so it's only right that we bring in someone who also is good at this wrestling discussions. We got us a guest today coming in, and I definitely want to get her opinions on this win for Mercedes Monae. We have Ashley Janae in the building.
Thank you so much.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you did. You got it.
Okay. I be almost getting us canceled with the way I be pronouncing people's names.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for the introduction. And how you doing today, Cedric?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
All right, I'm doing excellent.
Yes, indeed. So we just wanted to get your quick thoughts on it, because we do got a lot to cover in these next 30 minutes. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the winner of the Owen Hart's Women's Division tournament. Was the right call made, or do you have a difference in opinion?
Oh no, the right call was made because I've been following Mercedes Monae since she was Sasha Banks in the WWE, and you know she's always put on a phenomenal show, and she's so great at what it is she do. You think about it, she came from a different wrestling promotion, then came over to NXT, then dominated WWE, and now doing her thing at AEW. So I felt like it was well deserved for her to have won that Owen Hart competition. And then it's just basically goes to show everyone that she could do anything she set her mind to. I don't think it's no discrepancies against her or anything. She could do it all. And I hope she holds that title for a long time, too. I just hope they do right by her. Because, like I said, she's a phenomenal competitor. And she's actually one of my all-time favorites, too.
So would you consider her the Beyonce of wrestling, as she has stated?
In the way she is, especially over at AEW, it's like she's really dominated. Now I know you got Saraya over there, that's Paige, that's doing her thing. And then you got other talent over there as well. But I would say as of right now, with her being a champion, she is considered like the Beyonce of AEW in the women's division.
Saraya's like the Shania Twain,
right? Yeah.
Or the Celine Dion.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah,
but both of them, but they doing their thing.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It was a great Double or Nothing PLE, and so shout out to all the performers this past Sunday that brought it in. We look forward to seeing what's going to be going on AEW Dynamite tonight, and of course, we have a watch along with Courtney Rice, so you'll definitely want to check that out to see what the aftermath is of Double or Nothing. But now, let's talk about my neck of the woods. Battlegrounds in Tampa. All right. 6 matches. And we opened with one of the best fucking matches all weekend. I don't care what nobody say. This is up there. Sol Ruca versus Kalani Jordan for the NXT North American title. Sol Ruca ending this match with a super soul snatcher from the top rope to open the show. So thoughts, let me start with you, man. Thoughts on the first title defense for Sol Ruca on a PLE?
Very good defense. Also, I scroll back up. Amanadu, I saw your comment. Thank you. I don't want people to feel like they're not served here. Okay. But I did. This is one of the first matches I watched after leaving Double or Nothing, and oh my God, these are two people I hope's career trajectory always mirror each other, because their contrast and styles has to be fight forever. They do some stuff in the ring with such little experience that people just can't do. And I saw a lot of people critiquing the finish of the match, and it's like, oh, well, you kind of just wait. I can suspend my reality just a little bit if some shit gonna look like that. Just a little bit. This is not as bad as like Jake Atlas doing the cartwheel DDT shit that we used to see on NXT. This was like, hey, I'm just going to call my shot and finish the match strongly. Like Sol got it, man.
Yeah.
And she's a double champ. We can't forget. Double champ.
Yeah. And she a black woman. Sol Ruca out here. 2 strong black women out here doing their thing, opening the match. But I think, too, people got to kind of let that go, because it's like, yo, you let me know if you can cut a front flip and catch somebody's head and slam it into the mat. If you can do that from a top rope, then you can't. Then you can complain and say, "Oh, they waited for it to happen." But if you can't do it, you shouldn't be talking no kind of crap about this. All right.
I just look at it like style points at this point. It's like Street Fighter, video games. It's just style points.
And she hit it. That's all. Like, she hit it. So I'm like, y'all can't get mad that it was just like, yo, okay, you had to take a quick pause to it. But Ashley, did you get a chance to check out Battlegrounds? And if so, what did you think of this opening match?
You know what? I did not get a chance to check out Battleground, but according from what you all are talking about, it seemed like it was a huge success. Because like I said, you know, NXT is really doing their thing too. And then these are pretty much the future of the WWE. So I'm sure hands down, it could have been I'm sure it was a great event. And then I'll just go ahead and check it out. But it seemed like, again, the women are holding it down and they starting to get their flowers, which is great.
Yes, indeed. See, I feel like we'll do the opposite. You'll check out Battlegrounds. I'm gonna go check out Double or Nothing, because I was told like this is definitely a rewatch PLE. So I will go check that out.
Like when I told y'all in the chat, I was like, I think I got converted. I'm not even joking. I got converted.
Yeah. Then we had Stephanie McCurry's boyfriend get dog walked in the NXT.
Last night was Miles Bourne's fault.
Yo,
his fault.
Hey, listen. The boy put on the show. I will say that. Like, he did exactly what I said he was going to do in this match. You are going to show them why you're a product that they can trust, that you are somebody that they can put money into, and he definitely did that. I had no qualms of how this match went because there's no way he was about to beat Obafemi, but he gave an excellent performance. But the leader of the Big Back Coalition is not done. He's not done being the ruler of NXT. But said real quick, your thoughts on Miles Bourne's is that his name?
Yeah, Miles Bourne.
It's like somebody took like 3 characters and then made him. Because it's like Evan Bourne, Randy Orton, and that boy from Chase U all just came together and made him. Now I see it. That's what he reminded me of. Because I keep every time I say, I'm like, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. But yeah, your thoughts on his performance at Battleground?
I think he did what he was set out to do, was as make sure he has staying power at this part of the card. I mean, it's really hard to build somebody that won a battle royal to beat somebody as dominant as Obafemi has been. But I think now what you'll see next from Miles Bourne, who I think he's going to have a match with Charlie Dempsey, another guy that should be featured way more in NXT. I think you'll start to see like Miles Bourne is a breakout star. Whether you want to believe that's because of La Primera or not, whatever. at least we are actually showcasing more of the men on NXT's roster. The real question is, like, after seeing what we saw last night, is like, would they, I don't think there's a vet that could do it, but who would be the person that just shocks you and beats Oba just out the blue? Like, I can't think of anybody.
Oh, I can. They already set it up. Joe Hendry is going to be the NXT champion.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Joe, like if WWE has this, like, has TNA by a chokehold and like they're like, hey, nah, none of your people can come over here and do that.
It's gonna be Joe. It's gonna be Joe. When we'll get to the main event, but that's the one that's gonna do it. Like, that's the only one that can defeat Oba. You be okay with it, and Oba goes up. Because they want to utilize Oba as best of their ability because they need him on the main roster right now. And they most likely gonna put him on SmackDown. But that's the only one I see right now.
I would love to see an Oba like debut at SummerSlam if they can pull that off.
That would be fire. Actually, let me ask you though. One, do you think it's great to see folks who don't really get the spotlight be able to get a title shot like this, or are you more or do you feel a little bit more on the side of people having to earn that spot a little bit more, showing why they should be a champion as opposed to winning a battle royale for it?
It's like I agree with both. I mean, I feel like people should be given an opportunity to see what they can do, and on the other hand, I feel like people should earn their spot as well. But my thing is, if that person has passion, if that person has potential and determination, then why not present them with an opportunity to showcase their craft? And then that person that works extremely hard and then staying consistent with their craft, then let them see why they earn it, why they earn the opportunity. So it's like I agree with kind of both of what you had said.
Okay. And do you think it's time for Oba to go to the main roster, or should we see another maybe year run of the ruler in NXT?
I feel like he's ready. Because if you think about it, because I heard a lot of great things about Oba. He has held gold and things like that, and it seemed like he's a main eventer. So why not bring him over to the main roster to showcase his craft? So I feel like he is ready. And then too, as you can see, he can get the fans going as well. As long as you got the fans on your side and you keep on showcasing your craft and your talent, you good. I feel like he is ready for the main roster. And like Cedric said, I hope it does happen at SummerSlam. And then with SummerSlam being for 2 days, for 2 nights now, why not do it?
I agree with both of y'all, and I would love to see a SummerSlam debut.
Yeah, I feel like it's earned. I feel like he's done the work.
Yeah, over at MetLife. Woo!
Yeah.
Yo, the ruler, that's all I can. I'm just like, let me just throw that out there right there. 60,000.
Yep.
And everybody going.
I think he's ready. Yep.
Oh man. But yeah, then we had the women's title on the line. Jordynne Grace, Stephanie McIntyre putting on a display that we know only these two can. Stephanie McIntyre picking up the victory. Now again, without saying too much about Tuesday, because we are going to get into that. Thoughts on this match, and then the rumors surrounding that both of these women will potentially be called up. Vicur to Raw, Jordynne to SmackDown. Ashley, let me get your opinion first.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of great things about these two ladies. Now I actually got a chance to see Stephanie Barkia wrestle. She does well. So I think with Stephanie, she's gonna go more. She's gonna go on the Raw brand, and I feel like with Jordynne, I could see her on the SmackDown brand. You know, I feel like her, because I know they just signed Julia over to SmackDown. They just signed Roxanne Perez over to Raw. So I feel like Roxanne and Stephanie could have a great feud going on Raw. And I feel like with Julia and Jordynne, they could have a good rivalry on SmackDown. So that's what I think is going to happen.
I agree. Mayor, your thoughts on the match and this movie?
Great match. These women can do no wrong in the ring together. I think you still showcase everything that's great about Stephanie and the orbit we're in right now with her star power, but also Jordynne Grace just coming up short, which I don't think hurts her at all wherever she goes. She's been featured on this main roster in NWE the past couple of years. So if she does go to SmackDown, my God, that division is so stacked.
Yeah.
Like SmackDown by far on paper has the better division. And I think you can have Jordynne Grace just introduce her with anyone. Like she can come for Charlotte off top and maybe do a program with her, or even Jade. We've seen them stare down each other before. So I think that would be awesome. And honestly, with Raw, since they kind of have Rox doing the Judgment Day stuff, I think Stephanie can step into Raw and immediately be the star. That way we don't have to get flushed Rhea down our throats every week. I think that is needed.
Yeah. Yeah, Raw need a refresher. And I would not be surprised if this happens and these are your last two entrants into Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yo.
Hey, we know the AAA Worlds Collide match. If Stephanie worked both shows, keep in mind, they're right across the street. If Stephanie worked both shows, like, the women got to step their shit up. Because Stephanie going to take
but don't forget, she done done it already. Like she worked the weekend already. It ain't like she can't. So, and this just a tag match that she gonna be in for Worlds Collide. So it's like, yo, you got Lola Vice. Let Lola Vice do most of the work.
Stephanie out here like y'all sissy Americans. I'm from Chile. We work like this all day.
Like you know I wrestle, right? Be like, we gonna give you a break for what? I don't need no break. Let's go.
Right.
Don't need no water. I'll walk across the street in my gear too. Take pictures.
Yeah, keeping the gear on. Just grab my cape. Grab my cape for me, my horns. But then the main event, Joe Hendry, Trick Williams, the TNA title on the line for the first time ever in a WWE PLE. And this was the ending image of that match. And I have to throw out one thing before I ask the question, because I do have a statement that I need to make and it needs to be said. and this one is directed to Vic Joseph. Now, Vic Joseph, I gave you a compliment as saying in the look about your fly ass jacket. Okay,
I was there. I saw it.
See, so that's how. See, I got evidence. But what you not gonna do is you not gonna sit here and act like Joe Hendry didn't hit Trick Williams with a bookend, not a rock bottom. You gonna get that damn special right. How the fuck you gonna say rock bottom next to Booker T? What kind of shit like y'all? I'm telling y'all, I was so pissed at that, especially when Trick is like this, and he looking, and then they show it the Booker like this. Give it to him. It's like, oh shit, is he finna spin a Rudy? And he did it. I said, oh man, and then Joe come, hit him, and he was like, oh, the rock bottom. What the fuck? Vic, how you didn't pick up on, like, when I'm telling you, if you want the epitome of did not understand the assignment, I was like, yo, Vic, you're a hater. You're a fucking hater. You know that was the bookend. That was not the rock bottom. You ain't shit for that. Oh, that had me so tight. I'm like, bro, give my boy Book his flowers, dog. Give him his flowers. But this right here. Ashley, I'm gonna start with you.
Mm-hmm.
Trick Williams, who we kind of were a little lost as to where Trick is going right now.
Mm-hmm.
Was he going to the main roster? Is he gonna follow the Carmelo Hayes train? And Sunday night, this man made history and became the first NXT star to become TNA champion. Now, let me ask you, did you see this coming? And what does this do for their partnership with TNA and NXT?
Well, Trick Williams, I do like him, and he is a great competitor. Same thing with Oba. I feel like both of them are great competitors, and I do. And like I said, I didn't see this match, but I could have seen the outcome. I would have known that Trick was going to beat him for that title. So now it kind of now we're trying to figure out, is he going to go to the main roster or try to go to TNA now? I feel like he might dominate a little bit at TNA, and then eventually he'll come over to the main roster. That's what I think could happen. And I could see him going to SmackDown.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Mayor, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple ways you can look at this, and I think the match was great. I think Trick has put together two really good PLE matches back to back, and I think he kind of found his star power in his moments, like taking Joe Hendry's gimmick a little bit, doing the turn, the studying of the film, literally doing the spin-a-rooney spot that Booker T did against The Rock years ago. Like, doing those type of things kind of help Trick with his match and stuff like that, because you're giving the fans moments. We're not looking at work rate, things like that. You're giving us moments to remember. Trick being a champion of TNA, only other stars that have done it from multiple promotions have been Kenny Omega, and I think it was AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That's it. Now Trick Williams. So this actually elevates his star power to where they wanted us to view him as last year, without having to rush him to main roster, so he still get those reps in, right? Now, what Hickenbottom did wrong, I will say, is we hot-shotted Trick Williams to those 2 title reigns for NXT champion way too soon, before he was ready. So, now, this is a great side mission, because it ain't no way you can make my man a 3-time NXT champion, because you're putting too much pressure on this man. Way too much. I think the only person that is Samoa Joe. So you automatically put him in that orbit, and you don't want to do that. So for TNA, you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You give Trick something to do. You help elevate their men's division. Put Trick on both shows where you get the star power over there. And then when it's time for Trick to actually move up, now you probably have more credibility and storyline when he does come to the main roster, because you can use this as a calling card. So not only was Trick a 2-time champ, he's also one of 3 TNA champions to actually be from a different promotion. This makes sense. Yeah.
This make all the sense in the world. I called it when we were doing our predictions. I said Trick was going to win because Trick needed this more than anybody. This puts him in a whole different position and run for when he does go up. But it also showed, too, what I said about Joe Hendry, which is Joe has got to a point where he don't need the title. we're literally looking at Joe Hendry as this big shark that is literally swimming in a lake. And it's like, bro, you need a new atmosphere to be in. Like, this dude then got so big, you be forgetting he's world champ. And then you see he got a belt on, and it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot he the TNA champion. You just be that excited to see him. So this is what was needed, because this is going to, like you said, give Trick them reps. This is going to bring even more to TNA, especially after the exchange we had this past Tuesday with a certain TNA star. And I think it just does wonders for him. I think this was the right move to pull, and I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow's TNA to see what's going to happen. But we're going to quickly brush through Monday Night Raw, kind of like the Raw, the Dynamite preview. Seth Rollins still coming out in his wife's clothing and raiding her closet, along with the Men in Black, deciding to address why they are the new group to behold. Are they about to beat up people, or are they about to have the greatest comeback concert of your life? We don't know, but they were here to address why they are here, what they are meaning to do, and Seth Rollins was getting ready for his Money in the Bank match, qualifying match. We also had another person qualifying. Penta will be jumping high across ladders and all kind of other things at Money in the Bank, as he won the qualifying match against Chad Gable and some other person who I can't remember right now. All we know is Vikingo came out, who was also very short, but both of these two men were also going at it, costing Chad Gable the match. We also know this would have never happened if El Grande Americano was out there, because then he will be going to Money in the Bank. But it is Penta instead. We also saw old rivalry reheated. And I got to know real quick, from y'all perspective, was this the right move for Rusev and Sheamus, or is this giving the vibes of giving them something to do?
That's the right move.
Yeah.
You got somebody who's a bully, and Sheamus is a bully in his own right, but he a fair bully. He's like, oh no, I just want to fight. Don't pick on the little guy, fight me. And I think for them, if you want to go behind the curtain a little bit, this is somebody that Rusev can work a high-level program with, that he knows and that is safe for him at this stage of his career. So it just makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Ashley, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I feel like it's the right move. You know, it was the right move to bring Rusev back to the main roster. And I feel like him and Sheamus having a feud with one another, that's a good move. And I feel like it's going to do well, too. It's going to keep the fans entertained. Because if you think about it, Sheamus been in the business for a long time now. So now he just wants a little bit more competition before he says, I'm done for good with this. Same thing with Rusev. He just wants more competition. So I think this is a good match here, and it made a lot of sense to do so.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them back in the ring. It ain't gonna be no disappointment for me, even with them getting a little bit older, because now you got more wiser, you got a little bit more chops to you. Exactly. I look forward to seeing this. Yeah. I just gotta ask one thing: how we feeling about this Roxanne Judgment Day love triangle, chicken nuggets, Raquel kind of being upset because now she want Carlito but don't want Carlito until Roxanne gave a bag of apples, and throwing Kairi Sane in there to get a win even though she should have won last Monday against Rhea. Just where are y'all with this right now?
Well, it's kind of confusing and crazy at the same time, because it's like, you know, Roxanne just came on the roster. Now she wants to get in with the Judgment Day, and you can tell Roxanne really don't want nothing to do with her, because first of all, she's trying to take Liv Morgan's place, and that's what she's not going to go for. So it's like, it's kind of strange though, but I'm kind of looking forward to see the outcome of it. But I do think, you know, she is going to kind of get Dominic's attention and whatnot until Liv come back. So I just think it's kind of, you know, it's okay. We'll see what'll happen.
We've been doing the whole infighting Judgment Day thing for a while now, but now I think I can see how it's actually going to split. If you go back and look at the audio from Monday night, where Raquel's like, who sent you? Like, why are you out here? And she's like, you did. So we're going to find something out in the next couple of weeks that Raquel has really been planning this all along. And we got to remember that I think there's I don't know if it was NXT, but Raquel and Rox have tag team before.
Mhm.
Yep.
There was a nice little pair. So I mean, I can easily see Liv and Dom being the odd people out of all of this, and maybe Finn aligns with Roxanne. Now you have Raquel. Get him a little bit more to do. Throw JD in there as well. Carlito's odd man out there. I don't know what Carlito gonna do. Probably stay with Dom, but I think it just gives them more of a storyline. I mean, I would have loved for Roxanne to jump onto the main roster and immediately challenge Lyra, but I mean, Becky's right there.
Exactly.
I don't like that they got my client out here honeypotting. I don't like it. I don't like it. You better give me a good payoff for this, man, because y'all wasting my client's time right now. That's 2 weeks on the roster, just her doing a segment after she just had a fire ass match with Io Sky. So I don't like that she's further getting pushed away from this women's world title to be in some Jerry Springer drama with Liv Morgan and that scumbag Dominic Mysterio.
Right.
So hopefully it has.
June 7th, Councilman. We still got June 7th. She's in the Money in the Bank.
We do, but that thing's stacked. That thing's stacked already though, and we still got 2 more slots. And if those go to Jordan and Stephanie, I don't know who winning that match.
Right.
I have no idea who winning that.
It's gonna be hard.
Yep. And also at Money in the Bank, Lyra Valkyria will be putting the title on the line again against Becky Lynch after a exchange of words that I have not seen come out of Lyra's mouth since she walked into NXT UK. This was good.
This don't look like Lyra to me. This look like somebody else. Is that just the angle of the photo?
No, that's her.
It looked like she went hung out in Atlanta for a couple weekends. That's like Keisha right there. Let me tell you something, bitch. Money in the Bank. I'm on your ass. Like who wrote this for you? Let me find that Cardi B.
Bring that character out of her, but one come June 7th, that title goes bye-bye.
Yep.
And you know what, people doing the Becky Hogan stuff and all that. All that aside, it's just a rumor, but I'd be damned if Becky lose 3 times to Lyra Valkyria.
I mean, but that's the thing, yo. Like
really?
we've seen Hogan activity, and Becky ain't it. Like we done said this before. I ain't never seen Charlotte let Tegan Knox challenge for the NXT title on Monday Night Raw. Letting Xia Li challenge for the title on Monday Night Raw. Not come to NXT and do it. No, y'all Monday Night Raw superstars, we gonna do it on Monday Night Raw. Like, fuck out of here, yo. Like Becky stayed putting people on. And even going through this thing, look how strong it didn't made Lyra Valkyria. We already love her in-ring performance, but now we getting to see that personality come out. And just like to Mayer's point, you never see what the real person is until you see the chase. Yo, her losing the belt and having to try to get it back from Becky. Yo, how can y'all say she's being a Hogan right now? It don't make no sense. But we'll discuss that more as this story develops, because I do have to get out of here because I have another recording. But thoughts of Seth Rollins becoming entrant in the Money in the Bank real quick.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I mean, it should have went to either Finn or Sammy. I argue that Finn needed it the most, but I understand the men's Money in the Bank needed more star power. That's where Seth comes in. But it's like now I can't envision him not winning, which is why I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, even though he's in the match, I don't think he's going to win, though. I think it's just other competitors that's worthy. Because if you think about it, he done won Money in the Bank already years ago and cashed it in at WrestleMania. So I just don't think he's in, but I don't think he's going to win. You just never know. It might be some interference that happens that causes him not to win and somebody else win, which I'm hoping it happens.
I think it's either going to be
Bronson going to tsunami somebody off that ladder.
Yeah, somebody like him. I mean, somebody like him should win. You know, somebody that's the underdog.
But we still got Punk, and we still got Roman Reigns that ain't came back. So we might just see one of them show up at Money in the Bank as well and ruin it for Seth Rollins. So
You never know.
but then just quickly, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We have a new North American champion.
The fuck was this? And I fuck with Ethan Page. What we doing to Ricky? And Ricky's title run was kind of like, but it's like, does that mean Ricky was like seen as somebody like, hey, just go get your feet wet in NXT and we're gonna bring you up? Because I'm just like, he ain't.
It got from what I'm seeing, it gotta be that. I think they wanted to decorate Ethan just a little bit more.
Mhm.
And for Saints, it's like, hey, we got something for you on the main thing. Because I'm still sitting there just like, he won. He won. And then we already know Worlds Collide is coming. And then these are the new matches that have been added. A fatal 4-way against Laredo Kid, Ray Phoenix, and Javon Evans.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
But Ricky Saints would have been better for this. So I'm very confused as to what's going on. What's crazy is this is the second superstar they've done this to in a row. Because you did it with Sean Spears to Ricky Saints. Now Ricky Saints to Ethan Page. It's like, so does the
take the North American title that serious no more? It's like it's just there.
It's just that's what it's seeming like. That's what it's seeming like. It's just a prize piece. And then of course we had Mike Santana in the building, taking on Tavion Heights of the No Quarter Catch crew. Great match. Great to see Mike Santana on here. And we now also have learned that he is challenging the TNA champion, not tomorrow, but next Thursday on TNA. The belt will be on the line against Trick Williams. Now, question, does Trick Williams' title reign come to an end, or is this just a great match for him to have a first title defense against Mike Santana and putting him over as being that next guy for TNA?
Oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I feel like he's going to retain. This is going to be a great match for him to retain the title, to show the world why he's the TNA champion. Yeah, I don't see him winning it winning it and then losing it right away. So I think it's going to be a good title retain for him, but a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll show that Trick can hopefully work any style, work with talent all over the world. But they can't give him a short title reign like they did the North American in the past. So he has to hold this for, I'd say, a couple months. Yeah, but Santana probably will be that guy.
Yeah, I say the same thing too. I think it just puts Mike Santana into the title contingency picture, and then for something for them to come back when they're ready for Trick to step down, Mike Santana is that guy. Oh, it's on NXT next week. Oh, snap. I'm sorry. The TNA title will be defended on NXT. No. It's TNA. No,
TNA,
they said next Thursday. They said next Thursday.
Came back for. Santino jumped on the screen for that.
Yeah. No, because I remember Ava said next. He said next Thursday. No. Santino came on and said next Thursday is they'll challenge. Which makes sense because it'd be wild for them to do it on NXT first. That'd be wild as hell. But Speaking of wild, JC Jane versus Stephanie Vaquer, title on the line, and this was the last image we was left with when this show went off. And let me let y'all know, this is not they beat her up and she's just holding that title. We have a new NXT champion in JC Jane.
Hickenbottom love has some toxic attraction. Hickenbottom love that 2.0 stuff but I think this is more about Stephanie kind of. It's weird to say. She's accomplished damn near everything she could accomplish. She's traveled everywhere. She's worked on every show. She's a highlight waiting to happen. JC Jane has kind of just been around. Like, she was the last woman standing from Toxic Attraction. I think Gigi got hurt, Mandy got fired, and they always looked at her as a third wheel, but she's just been steady that whole time. A lot of people, I mean, I just think that JC was always the breakout star. And then it's like she got put into tag teams, this faction, still never seen as prominent. All it took was a slap backstage to heat that right back up.
Yep.
The Gigi Dolan feud was a setback. But also, if this was always the long-term play for JC as a result of that, well played. I don't know why you pulled the trigger now. I don't know what this era looks like. I can probably make a debate or argument that maybe this was better positioned for like somebody like Cora Jade if she was still here. I don't know. But I think it positions Fatal Influence as at least a dominant faction to keep the belt on her for a while.
Yeah.
But also, this is crazy, right? Because didn't Stephanie just mop all of them a couple months ago to win the North American from Fallon?
So here's my thing. Here's my thing with that. She escaped with that. So that's why you say long-term storytelling. She escaped with that because although she took out all three, it was very difficult for her to take out all three. And I was like, I don't think they're gonna make that happen again if you still want this faction to stay strong. If she mopped them the third time, then yeah, y'all need to break up. But this was shocking, but not know what the F are you doing. It was just like, I didn't see that coming. I love it because, again, JC Jane is one of the very few people to survive 2.0. She is one of the very few to still be there, still standing, not being released. But I will say I think it was a slight disrespect to Cora Jade. I don't know who Cora Jade pissed off. I don't know if it was because she had been hurt too many times. But if this was the route that was going, again, I could see it being with Cora Jade. But I'm not mad that it's JC Jane because right now she's technically the veteran there. Like, she's been there for years. She is a locker room leader, you know, even in this heel style format. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen Fallon Henley rise because of JC Jane. We've seen Jasmine Nix seem like she's ready to become a singles competitor. So I'm not mad at it. It was just very shocking to go like, whoa, we doing this? Is this what we doing? This was hot in the streets? And when that 3 hit, I was like Mike Rome.
I like how he played that off too, and they had to be like, "Yo, you got to make the announcement."
Yo. The news finna come on, bro. Say it. We got to go. We got to go.
But listen, but I like the rest of the women on the roster. Like, I'm thinking Jada, Lola, Lash. When they get to actually compete in these spotlights for the women's title now.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I'm glad this happened though, because it resets the universe. Because we took a big side mission with all the new toys that came in, and it was like, okay, listen, they not gonna be here for a good little while. We just need them to get they run so we could get them to the main roster. Now we're back to the PC era. We back to the Performance Center era again. Mm-hmm. And then especially if Jordan's leaving too, the only one left is Zarya, and Zarya need to be there anyway just so she can get her ropes in for how to perform on television, wrestling wise and mic wise. So now we're back to our regular NXT, to where, like you said, when Lola come challenge for this, we can sit here and be like, yo, we're not sure who gonna win. We're not sure who finna walk out with this. Same thing with a Jada. Same thing with a Tatum Paxley, a Lash Legend. Like, we get back to really making the rest of this women's division get back on track to where it needs to be. So I think this was a good pick. I think this was a solid decision on it. Shout out to Stephanie Vacour and really the rest of all them women there that really just showed you like, hey, we here for a good time, not a long time, and now it's time for us to be on the big show, because they did their thing, but it was really to say, if y'all couldn't have done that without the women in this picture and the women that are back there currently, you'd have never got to be this hot if it wasn't for them laying the groundwork here in NXT. And I feel this pays homage to all of that because of her having this championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I better not see Stephanie nowhere near LWO.
I swear I'll throw my chair out this window. If I see that deadbeat Ray walk up, if I see Joaquin with them stupid ass hats walking up like he about to go play a guitar and talking to Stephanie, I'm gonna make Hornswoggle drop kick the shit out your ass. All right. And I know Hornswoggle, so don't test me. But that is going to wrap up our episode of WWT Live. We wanted to make sure that we gave y'all episode today, because again, everyone's drunk, everyone's hungover. TK is in the Caribbean doing God knows what with them gal sugars and dresses. Supposedly she's wearing a tiara somewhere right now with rum punch. We don't know what TK's doing, but we are here to report the news like we're supposed to on Wednesday. But before we get up out of here, we always want to make sure that you're able to support our WWT panelists in the way that they see fit. Ashley, can you let them know where to follow and support you?
Yeah, so you all can follow me on Instagram at BlueShades1993. You can follow me on X at AshleyJanae93, Facebook at Ashley Janae, and I have of course, my podcast, Wrestling Discussions. I'm a monthly podcaster, so that's on Spotify, all streaming platforms, and I have a second podcast, Aspiring Discussions, that's on all streaming platforms, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ashley Janae.
All right, set, Mayor.
Where do I want to be found today? First and foremost, we giving away some art. Shout out to the homie Scoofist, gave me some nice art at the Comic-Con a week ago. Message the Women's Wrestling Talk, Twitter, IG, whatever, and we will be able to get this out to you. It don't cost you nothing. I'm giving it out to the first person who want it. This is all your famous tag teams, the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, as drawn and printed out by Scoofius on Instagram. You can also find me on these Twitter streets at CEDSays, at CEDD_SAYS, on the gram at cedistheanswer, on TikTok now at cedistheanswer. If you know it's been there, but I'm actually start posting some shit. I got some interviews with Mickey James, Saraya, Booker T, talent from MLW, Mick Foley. There's a lot of stuff that I'll start purposing and uploading for you guys so you guys can see how I've been out here in these streets. If you did show some love for the media scrum question I asked Tony Khan, let's put that pressure on the fake TK to make the women the main event at All In Texas. That is all I require. But until then, we'll see you guys Friday.
All right. Thank you all so much for having me.
Yes, indeed, of course. And you can find me at Somebody Stole My Pants on all socials. And then you can also find me on YouTube and Twitch at Winnie the Pooh Style. I do not have to explain what that is. You already know. If you know, if not, don't ask me what that means. But a lot of y'all be Winnie the Poohing out here when you by yourself at your house. And make sure that you always support WWT and all of its panelists. And we will get ready for the watch along with Courtney for AEW Dynamite, and then check back with us here on Friday so we can catch you up on all the other wrestling news. And hopefully everybody has had their Pedialyte, their Gatorade, and they can be back here on time with their drunk asses. So thank you for checking out WWT, the number one women's network on the planet. I still said it wrong, but it don't matter. So, peace.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.